This is Seth, and today I'm going to do a Sonic the Hedgehog tier list because I didn't feel like editing another video, and I have the time, and also, I forgot the third thing. Oh yeah, just because at this point I'm going to have more Zelda content on my channel than Sonic content, which is perfectly fine, but my logo, which is just the Sonic Team logo, which is probably not legal. I should probably fix that. Anyway, this is a tier list that the tier list is called Main Series Games, but honestly, there's definitely more than what most people consider main series in here. But that's what I want. I don't want to do multiple videos like this. I just want to do the whole Sonic series in one go. So, it's not done in any particular order. The first one here is Sonic Forces. That's a weird place to start. I'm going to move Sonic Forces into... I'm going to move it into D tier. You know why? There was another YouTuber, I think his name was Chowmix or something. He said if Sonic 06 is high-key the worst Sonic game ever made, then Sonic Forces is low-key the worst Sonic game ever made. And I agree with him. There are so many little things about... Like, I was so hyped for this game when I saw the initial trailer. I was so hyped. But then the game came out, and I shouldn't have... I was too hopeful. It looked, even by the trailers, that you would just be running in a straight line. And then, yeah, that's what the game was. And I just wanted to believe really hard that it was going to be more than that. But this game is just... It's perfectly functional. It's just not that fun. What do we have? I'm not going to do Knuckles Chaotix. Well, actually, I am going to do Knuckles Chaotix because I haven't played it. I feel like that's one of the only Sonic games that has not been ported in any way. But I do have a Sega 32X, so I can play this game, and I will eventually. My friend gave me that. Just for my own headspace, I'm going to try to keep things ordered here and go to the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Honestly, I don't want to put it in... I'll put it in C tier, and here's why. I think D and E tier are actually bad games. Like, games that I don't think are good. C tier up to S tier, none of them are bad games. The original Sonic the Hedgehog is just like, I don't have a reason to play it. To be honest, it doesn't have the spin dash, doesn't have any of the cool friends or anything yet. It's a great, you know, everybody knows it started the series. It's a great implementation and execution of, like, what the Sega Genesis could really do. Honestly, I don't ever feel, compelled to play it, but it's not bad, so I won't call it bad. It's a perfectly fine game. So then I'll go to Sonic 2, and I'll put Sonic 2 in B tier. Sonic 2 is a fun video game, and arguably better than Sonic 3 in certain ways. It kind of depends on what you're looking for. Sonic 2 has a much more streamlined level design, while Sonic 3 has a much more explorative level design. So if you're just looking for speed and, like, a good game to just do in one sitting, I actually think Sonic 2 is kind of better, but I think Sonic 3 is better overall. And I'm going to try to reflect that by doing this and putting Sonic 3 right there, because I mean, I basically just explained it. Sonic 3 is actually my first Sonic game as well. And I explained my whole history with it in my Sonic Mania video, SethStory, that I have done. I'll put Sonic and Knuckles right, I don't know, put them in between. Yeah, I'll put it right there. So, if I've done those, I guess I gotta do Sonic 4 now. I'll put it right there. Sonic 4 is actually fine. I've heard some people say it's trash. The physics are super different. Like, they're way floatier. And, you know, this game was made to be available on everything. So I think it was made literally with a mobile phone engine. So it's like a mobile phone game with weird, overly shiny graphics. I actually like the graphics in the Wii version better because they're not overly shiny. Yeah, Sonic 4 is fine. At least the physics, while being floaty, are at least functional. I think Sonic Force's physics are so awkward that I think they're worse than Sonic 4's physics. And, you know, it's nice to have a modern 2D game. I hope we get another one of those. Sonic 4 is fine. It's just super short. And I'll put Sonic the Hedgehog 4. I'll put that one right here because I think it's slightly better. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2 is, like, it's the same thing, except it's got Tails' actions in it and an incomplete ending. They never finished the trilogy, but I don't have strong feelings towards it. I think this game is kind of fun in multiplayer. I feel like I'm one of the 5 people who has played this with a friend, and it's actually kind of fun. It doesn't have a long longevity because it's 4 zones long, but oh my gosh, the Emerald Sky Chase zone, the one where like as Tails, one player physically pilots the tornado, and then the other player, as Sonic, has to stay on top of it. It's an absolute disaster. It doesn't work very well because the tornado has a spin attack in this one, and but it was fun. It was fun. So I don't know where to go next. I guess let's just stay classic here. Sonic 3D Blast. This is actually like my second or third Sonic game ever, because my cousins had this one on PC, which is also how I had the Sonic & Knuckles collection. But honestly, I don't think it's bad, but it's just not very fun. I'll put it here. Like, I might move things around here at the end. I might put that back in D tier, but I think Sonic 3D Blast is a fine game that has no reason to be a Sonic game whatsoever. It could be any other franchise, I guess, and it would just be like a fine, you know, what is that camera angle called? It's like not a bird's eye view, but it's like at a bird's eye view at an angle. It could be any type of game, and it doesn't really complement Sonic's speed. It's kind of just boring, in my opinion, which is a really big offense because I get bored easily. But that's just me as a reviewer saying that. Okay, let's stay classic. Sonic CD. I think I'll put Sonic CD right here. Sonic CD is actually really good in its legacy. It introduced Amy Rose. It introduced Metal Sonic. It did a decent amount for the series. Like the time-moving mechanic's pretty cool. And it has, everyone knows those, the opening and ending sequences done by Toei Animation are amazing. Everybody can get behind that. I think this game's level design is sometimes just kind of rubbish. Like, this is the most stop and go. My ring almost fell off my finger. This is the most stop and go of all the classic Sonic games. And I just don't usually think that's particularly fun, so I'm going to put it below the others, but just above. I would rather play it than the original. Oh, the Game Gear? Oh, Sonic Blast. This game's garbage. I thought it was the other version. I think there's 2 versions of Sonic 3D Blast as well, but I don't think that's on the list. This is Sonic Blast for the Game Gear. They took an 8-bit console and tried to do a Donkey Kong Country graphics thing with it, but it's not very good. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if anyone watching this video hasn't even heard of it. It's a random game that prioritizes graphics over gameplay on the Game Gear, and it's just the characters take up way too much screen space. You can't really see anything coming, and it's just not very fast anyway. I don't know why it exists. Staying classic. What is this? Sonic Chaos? Oh yeah. This game is so unmemorable. I think I've played it for 5 minutes and I'm having trouble picturing it. So it would be unfair of me. What do I do? I'll put it in haven't played, but maybe that means it deserves a D or an E. And Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble. I remember this one slightly more. I'll put it right here. I'm not gonna lie to you, Game Gear Sonic games aren't very good because they're not fast, and at that point they're just generic platforms with very little movement options. Sonic has a very limited moveset as a character. He can't do as much as Mario can. Like, he can't pick things up, and he doesn't have a huge diverse collection of power-ups anyway. You mostly just run and jump and duck to go into a ball in these games. And if the level design doesn't complement that to let you do different actions, and if it's not fast, then honestly it's just not very fun. And that's kind of what the Game Gear games are. Is they're just basic platformers with Sonic in them. Yep. I see this right here, so I'm just going to put it in I haven't played Sonic Neo Geo Pocket Color. I heard it's actually good. I heard it's really good. And the rest of the Sonic games, here we go with modern. I'm going to put these two in A tier. Sorry. I corrected that. There we go. How about that? That actually does make me feel more comfortable, because I like these games a lot. I don't want to start with the obvious things. I'm going to try to go in relatively chronological order. Sonic Adventure is an A tier game. Dude, Sonic Adventure, for when it came out, is incredibly ambitious. It came out, 2 years after Ocarina of Time, and Ocarina of Time is an amazing game. I think Ocarina of Time is maybe a better game in its consistency of quality throughout the entirety of the game, but just think about there's only a 2-year difference there, and think about everything that this game brings. The scope, the graphical fidelity, the voice acting, the music, the speed. Like, the Dreamcast was ahead of its time, so ahead of its time that it kind of killed itself. I hadn't even heard of it, so that's how much of a flop it must have been, because I didn't even hear about the Dreamcast when I was a kid. I don't remember anyone talking about it. I played the DX version. Like most GameCube kids, I played Sonic Adventure 1 after Sonic Adventure 2, because on the GameCube, Sonic Adventure 2 came out first as Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and Sonic Adventure came out second as Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. And Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut had a bunch of unlockable GameCube games. Not GameCube, unlockable Game Gear games on it. And that was kind of cool. It was just really cool to experience a hub world in a Sonic game, even though it's a little boring and bare. The Chow world isn't as good as Sonic Adventure 2, but anyway, I'm talking about why this game is A tier. This game is A tier just because it's fast. It's got such a cool spin dash. Its level design is really, really good. Arguably better than Sonic Adventure 2 in how open the Sonic levels are anyway. I don't think it's as cool. I like the streamlined approach of Adventure 2, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But this game is super ambitious. I love the story, theoretically. The cutscenes are kind of terrible, but this game's a blast. And honestly, besides Big the Cat, I like most of it enough. Like, some people say only half the game's good, because, like, Sonic and, Gamma and Knuckles are good, but then the other three are throwaway. I think Tails is too easy, but that doesn't mean it's not fun. And I think Amy is really slow, but that doesn't mean it's not fun. I really only have a big problem with Big. Big is terrible, and everyone knows it, and I don't need to beat that horse to death. Everyone knows Big isn't cool. So now we're going to go to... If you ask me what my favorite video game of all time is... First, I would say a multiplayer or single player, because I think those are two very different questions. And then secondly, there's a good chance I would say Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2 is so cool. Like, I remember the first time I went and played Sonic Adventure 2, I was at a Toys R Us, remember that, and there was a kiosk of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube, and... I didn't know what I was doing or how to even control the menu, but I played with this other random kid. And this other random kid, he was like, well, let's just hit this question mark button. So we were on the multiplayer menu, and we hit random. And I kid you not, I feel like it was destiny. He selected, when we went to random, it went to City Escape, he was Metal Sonic, and I was Sonic. And in my head, that was like this big rivalry thing, because I had just rented Sonic Adventure, the movie, or Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, which is the Sonic OVA that most of us know it. I had just rented that. And I'm like, oh no, he's Hyper Metal Sonic. I gotta defeat him now. And I just barely won that race. Neither of us knew what we were doing. And then I rented a GameCube a couple of times. You could do that from Family Video. You could rent an entire system for an extra price. And I rented a GameCube because I couldn't afford one just to play this game. I think twice. I think I did that twice. Maybe. Man, it's just this game has such a good soundtrack that I've debated making a video about just the soundtrack alone. It's so good. The story's really good. The cutscenes are kind of bad, but not as bad as Sonic Adventure 1. You can at least get most of the story and digest it through the cutscenes in this game, even though they're cheesing and the audio mixing is terrible. The level design is so good, and this game lives and dies. Like, I used to say what a lot of people said about this game. I used to say, you know, the speed stages are good, and the other stages are good for, like, maybe one playthrough. Like, it's worth playing them to get through the game, but they're not good. Honestly, and then I said the thing most people say, like, I like the Sonic stages and the Chow Garden, and, you know, the rest of the game is kind of eh. And then when I was, I think, 15 or 16, when I was 16, I decided to look into these rankings and look into more than just the Chow Garden and, like, what do you do for these extra missions? And I fell in love with the game all over again, like, 5 years after beating it the first time, because, like, this game's ranking system is good. It is actually difficult to get the highest rank in, which is an A rank in this game. It's actually difficult to do that, but this game kind of just lets you figure it out. Like, I remember I didn't have internet access. I didn't look up what are these little shrine thingies. I remember learning the Mystic Melody and, like, learning those patterns. Like, okay, mission 3, maybe I should look for Mystic Melody. Or, like, I realized that I haven't gotten a power-up from this stage. Is there a power-up hidden somewhere in it? And just figuring it out and finding those things to get A ranks and trying your hardest. And then it has this loop of, like, okay, play a couple levels, get a couple A ranks. Once your animals and Chaos Drive inventory is full, go back to the Chow Garden, do a round of that, go back, get another A rank, and you just, like, it's this really addicting gameplay loop once you start to go for 100% completion, and that actually made my opinion of the game go higher than it was originally. And honestly, this video should just be titled me gushing about Sonic Adventure 2 for 5 minutes, because that's what it's going to be. I'll stop myself now, and I'll go on to the next one, which is, where's Sonic Heroes? There it is! I can't decide about whether this should be A or B tier. I'll put it in low. I'll put it in high B or low A. I'll put it in high B for now. I actually think in some ways Sonic Heroes has aged even better than Adventure 1 or 2 because it has a lot less jank in it. Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Adventure 1 both have a lot of random jank that you just kind of have to learn to avoid, and that's just because of age and the physics in those games, but even though they're sublime for the most part, Sonic Heroes has a lot less of that. And I actually like that Sonic Heroes has nice long levels, and it's got level up systems in the levels, and, you know, depending on what characters are leveled up will change how you approach enemies. It's a weird game that's like a mix of speed and combat, and I think the characters need to shut up from time to time. I feel like they talk way too much mid-level to the point where it gets kind of, as an adult, it's kind of annoying. I just played it like 2 years ago with a friend. Yeah, and then obviously playing the story 4 times is overkill for completion. Like, I feel like you should be able to get the Chaos Emeralds with any combination of characters or whatever, and that should be enough. Especially because that in itself is already a bit of a pain in the butt. But Sonic Heroes is awesome. It still has great music and great levels, and I actually kind of like the tone of it a lot. It feels more like a classic game, but it doesn't take a dump on all of the modern lore that was set by the 2 games before it. That happens after this game. It kind of continues it starts kind of the mystery of Shadow, which continues into Shadow the Hedgehog, and then Shadow seems like a cool character by Sonic 06. And that kind of starts here, and like I like the continuity at play. It didn't throw itself in the trash yet, and it was a pretty good game. Sonic Heroes is alright with me, and the theme song is also scientifically engineered to get stuck in your head. If you don't like the Sonic Heroes theme song, you can just get the heck out of my face. Sorry. Let's go to... Actually, this is a modern game, but it's classic in design, so I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put Sonic Mania at... I'm going to give it a... See, there's my preferences, and then there's objectiveness. So I don't know if I should put Sonic Mania at the highest of A tiers or the lowest of S tiers, because that's where I would put it. I'm going to put it at the highest of A tiers. I made an entire video about this, so I don't feel like I have much to say, except that it's a game made by the fans, for the fans, and I hope that Sega gets it together enough so that they don't have to make another game by the fans, for the fans, but they could just make a game for the fans by themselves. That would be sick. But it's a great game. I will try to link the video here. So, next we have... I said chronologically earlier, and what I meant by that is release order. That's kind of how I'm doing this. Shadow the Hedgehog is not very good. I'm going to put that right here. In D tier, Sonic the Hedgehog, Shadow the Hedgehog, is one of the weirdest anomalies in gaming ever. It's so strange because they wanted to make a rated T Sonic game, but then apparently the rating of E10 came out as this game was in production. They're like, oh, we're going to make it E10 and dial back a lot of the swearing, except, so now it's just got this awkwardly cheesy tone where it can't go the full, 100, so it just goes like 50% of the way there, and it's not good. It's so awkwardly edgy. I feel like Shadow acting like an edgelord is because of this game, but he wasn't even an edgelord in the games that came before it, or the game after it. I said it before in this video. I like the way Sonic 06 depicts Shadow after this game, actually, but this is the game that people think of when they hear about Shadow the Hedgehog, and it shouldn't be. But this game, it tries to be dark and edgy, but it uses the Sonic Heroes engine, so the graphics are actually a little bit on the ugly side because everything's all shiny, but the colors are really dark. You gotta beat it 80 billion times. You technically have to beat it 10 times to get the 11th and final ending, and that's lame. Unnecessary, but I've done it. Have I done it twice? Man, what do I do with my time? I think I've done that twice. I don't know why. I didn't even like it that much back then. Shadow the Hedgehog, everybody. Even the music in Shadow the Hedgehog, it's done by Jun Senoue, if that's how you pronounce it. That's a Japanese name. But his music with a dark tinge to it is just less interesting than his usual stuff. So even the music in this game is just kind of alright. It's still good. It's still good by video game standards, but it doesn't have as many bangers. Take a short break to talk about the Sonic Advance series. Sonic Advance 1 is awesome, and I'm going to put it right here. I like Sonic Advance 1. I actually, when I was a kid, I got a double pack of Sonic Advance 1 and Sonic Pinball Party. Uh-oh, Sonic Pinball Party is not on the main Sonic game tier list. What are we going to do? But Sonic Advance 1 is awesome. This is more Sonic 4 than Sonic 4 is. Like, I feel like the Sonic Advance series as a whole is slept on, and because Sonic Advance 4 has super similar physics to the original. It adds one more playable character, which is what the trend was with the original trilogy. With each release, just add another playable character, and it added another playable character, and it had modern designs in it. But otherwise, it's just a new 2D game. And it basically is Sonic 4 in my head, and it's a nice little game. Also, I'm just generally very nostalgic for it. Sonic Advance 2. I'll just put it right here. Right Above or below Sonic Advance? I don't know. Pretend these two are interchangeable, because here's the thing. Sonic Advance 2 has some trade-offs as a game. It puts so much emphasis on the speed that it's a little one note, and all of the bosses. The development team really wanted to make sure that you never stopped running, because the bosses always run away from you, and in this game it makes it really annoying to play sometimes, but it's super fun. I do like the speed. It's just kind of nothing but speed. You could make that argument for Sonic Rush, but I don't think it holds up as well in Sonic Rush, because Sonic Rush, you're also doing tricks and like bouncing off enemies intentionally to keep your boost gauge up. In this game, it's literally just running the video game. Not to say the stages don't take practice, and like, because that's the trade-off. It's a practice makes perfect kind of game, so you can get that perfect run, but then it feels like it has a little bit less substance. It's the game that introduced Cream, I believe, unless that was Sonic Heroes. They came out in the same year, I believe. And then Amy is the ultimate unlockable, which is stupid. But I'll also say the special stages in all three of these Sonic Advance games, the method of which you get the Chaos Emeralds and get the final ending is dumb, and I've never done it in any of them, even though I've cheated to do it in Sonic Advance 3, actually, but not good. And I bring that up now because Sonic Advance 2 might be the worst in the series at the 100% completion requirements, or at least the final ending requirements. Sonic Advance 3, this is my favorite of the bunch, to the point where I'm actually going to put it here. I think Sonic Advance 3 is a super good game. It has a team mechanic, like the classic Sonic and Tails thing, except you can choose your team combination, and different team combinations have different team actions. And even outside of that, it's just got a good mix of speed and platforming, even though, like, getting to the final ending is really hard in this game, just like it is in Sonic Advance 1 and 2. It's the least egregious. It's the least annoying, in my opinion. Like, it's at least very doable to get the final ending. I just think it's fun. It's got a good combination of stages, and I don't know. It's a good game. Sonic. Okay. Should I go to Rush now? Yeah, I will. Will I? Yes. I'll go to Sonic Rush. Sonic Rush is sick, and I'm gonna put it all the way up there. Sonic Rush is one of my favorite Nintendo DS games in general. It's got Hideki Naganuma as a composer. It's got sick level design. It introduces Blaze. The special stages are really fun. The music, the gameplay, the usage of 2 screens, I guess. Not that it's a huge deal, but like, I like even the story. The story of this game is cute. This has got an adorable story. I like pretty much everything about Sonic Rush. And if they made a Sonic Rush 3 nowadays, Sega, make Sonic Rush 3. It would be good. We'd buy it. Trust me. We'd buy it. Man, Sonic Rush is good. Sonic Rush Adventure, I'll put Sonic Rush Adventure literally right behind Sonic Rush, because they're kind of the same thing. Sonic Rush Adventure, in my opinion, is technically a better game. Ooh. But it was the second one of its kind, and it didn't do too much new. So I think it's less memorable for that reason, and I also think it's less memorable because it doesn't have Hideki Naganuma. So the music is significant. It's still good, but it's significantly less memorable, because when you look at Hideki Naganuma's compositions, you can see that he uses a lot of vocal samples. And I'm not just saying this as a guy who's read YouTube comments. I'm saying this as an amateur music composer. Vocal sampling is kind of like an art form, because if you do it wrong, you sound like an idiot. Like, dude, what are you even going for? But Hideki Naganuma takes random vocal samples from random things, splices them up, and then he beat repeats them. He uses like filters on them, and he changes their octaves in such a way so that they fit the music, and to the point where they almost sound like they're part of the percussion. And that was a really important part of the first Sonic Rush's identity. And the second Sonic Rush not having Hideki Naganuma on its side, I think was a little bit of a blow to its memorability, because I think everyone prefers the first one, almost everyone. But I replayed both of them 3 years ago, I think. Man, I just realized this video makes it seem like I'm in a constant state of playing Sonic games, but I haven't actually played one since I made the Mania review. I think that's right. So, what was I talking about? Yeah, Sonic Rush Adventure, in my opinion, has better optional content with its medals and just like decorating the island. It's still minimal optional content, but it's more than just going for S ranks, which is literally all the first one had. So I think if Sonic Rush Adventure had Hideki Naganuma on its side, it would be better than the first one, but because it doesn't, the first one's just way more memorable in my head. See, I'm gushing over Sonic Adventure and Sonic Rush. Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Rush. Make believes reborn. I don't think Sonic and the Secret Rings is terrible. There, I said it. I'm gonna put it in right. That's actually a good question. Where do I put Sonic and the Secret Rings? I would put Sonic and the Secret Rings right here. I think the controls are kind of garbage. But what people don't talk about is the fact that when you get further in the game, if you're willing to put up with the garbage, that sounds terrible. The controls literally get better because they're not actually unresponsive. Sonic is just super slow at the beginning of the game. And when you get upgrades, it has this little, like almost like RPG level up system. When you get upgrades to make Sonic faster, Sonic simply starts to move more appropriately to the speed that you want to move the controller. And the game actually becomes more fun the more you put up with it, because the controls almost feel like they get better when Sonic starts to move more fluidly with his upgrades. And that being said, now that I talk about it, I actually have a lot of fun memories with this game too. I'm gonna put this above Sonic 4, 1 and 2. This game has a Sonic Mario Party mode, and since this came out in the early days of the Wii, I actually had really fun playing it with a friend. Just fun Wii Remote Control mini games, and you know, a kind of janky but solid main game. Again, I understand it's janky. I think the story's actually all right too. Sonic and the Secret Rings is all right with me. Now, what are we gonna have? What are we gonna do? We're gonna do. Well, actually, what's next? Okay, I should have done Sonic 06. I'll do that next. Sonic and the Black Knight, I'm just gonna put right over here. I actually didn't like Black Knight quite as much as Secret Rings, because Secret Rings was novel because it was a very linear game. Like, it was literally an auto-scroll Sonic game. You were on a track. And the reason why that was permissible was because... Excuse me. I burp in every video. Sorry. Wait. The reason why that was permissible was because the game used Wii Remote controls, and this game did not use Wii Remote controls. It used the Wii Remote and nunchuck setup, which means that I feel like why is it so on rails when I'm just using the nunchuck to control it? It seemed significantly less intuitive. And I also just... Why does the sword swinging have a slight delay on it literally every time? Like, you have to time... If you want to cut enemies up and not lose speed, you need to practice that. It doesn't seem completely natural. This game is really good, though. It still has a little watered down, but still kind of has the RPG elements of the first one, or the level up system, kind of. And, you know, you can identify objects for some reason or whatever. And this game's story is weirdly heartfelt. I don't know what Sega executive sat at a table and said, you know what, let's make a Sonic game where he goes back and meets Sir Lancelot and learns a valuable lesson about making the most of time while we have it, making the best of every moment. I don't know what Sega executive decided on that, but this game has a really memorable story, so I'll give it that, and it's not trash. I just don't have as fond memories of this one as I do with Sonic and the Secret Rings. Sonic 06, I'm putting in E tier. There's no, there's no hesitation there. I don't like. Okay, I have played this game to completion. Full disclosure, it's one of the only games I played on my older brother's Xbox 360 before that thing got the red ring of death, and I'm really ashamed to say that. What did you do while you had an Xbox 360, Seth? I played Sonic 06. Pretty much. Not much else. I played like maybe three other games on that console. Dude, Sonic, I'm not gonna... This ground has been treaded by many a YouTuber, so I don't feel the need to talk about it too much, but... This game is the unfinished version of Sonic Adventure 3. This game is so bad, it doesn't even have a subtitle. I'll leave it there. Now let's talk about some... No, Sonic Unleashed. S tier. I will die on this hill. Sonic Unleashed is a good game, and the production value of Sonic Unleashed is so high that they made a short film to release alongside it. 3 funny little short films that are unlockable extra content in the game. The first Sonic game with a large amount of DLC. Completely, like, really weirdly detailed hub areas, despite the fact that you could just speed through them. And a ton of optional unlockables. And to this day, it has some of the best graphics in the series. It's like the same graphics as Sonic Generations, yeah, but it's way more detailed in its locations and stuff. It's the most pleasing to the eye. Even more so than Forces. This game is so good. And, okay, half the game's good, half the game's bad. No, shut it. Let me tell you, Sonic the Werehog is ridiculous, okay? But just because the concept is ridiculous, and it's slower, and you have to deal with annoying music, doesn't mean there isn't substance. There's actually a lot of hidden content in the stages, and plenty of moves to unlock. There's literally a level up system in this game. There's optional missions, hub worlds, memorable, like, content. I almost want to make a video that's just called the production value of Sonic Unleashed. Like, they need to come out with Sonic Unleashed, like, re-release it, and just edit a few things in the game to make it better. Like, make it so that, like, you're stopped in your tracks to fight enemies less often. Because that's what really artificially extends the Werehog stage length, by the way. Because there is a shortcut in the Chunan nighttime level where you can skip, I think, 2 encounters by running over one of the dragon roads. And because of that, you can finish that level in 5 minutes. And, like, it, like, makes you realize, like, dude, either way, it's one of the shorter ones, but it's not, like, ultra short. And it makes you realize these levels are artificially lengthened by the fact that I have to stop and fight. And I feel like if they just went in and just edited some of those encounters so that you could fight enemies more at your leisure, the game would literally, like, that is actually one of the main problems of the game, is just that. And then make like an individual battle theme for every area too, instead of just Am I frozen? On my computer, I'm frozen. Well, let's see what happens with the video. Anyway, this is 40 minutes? Oh my gosh. Let me finish this. Sonic Unleashed is good. Sonic Colors made me feel like a crazy person, but it's also really good. I think it's right there. Sonic Colors is really good. I feel like I was driven a little crazy when I heard all the reviewers all the professional reviewers say it was the best Sonic game in 10 years, even though, in my opinion, it's calling it the daytime stages of Unleashed, but without the Werehog, is definitely being generous to this game. It's definitely watered down comparatively. Some of the level design almost feels more like a Kirby game in that you got to get this power up and then save it to this location to get the red star rings, to get the collectibles. And this is also the game where the storytelling started to nosedive. And even though, in a way, I kind of liked it at the time, but it also made me really worried. I'm like, I don't mind it being funny, and I don't mind Tails having a nice buddy relationship with Sonic. I like that he had a big role, but it feels like it went from a funny, like a childlike anime tone that the Sonic games had before it. Like, they felt kind of Japanese. Not like, I don't want to say full anime, but they still felt Japanese in their writing style almost. And it went from that to just straight up really, really childish Saturday morning cartoon. And they also changed the voice actor at the same time. And just some of the mechanical downgrades from Unleashed, I was like, man, this is definitely a good game, but it's not the best Sonic game in 10 years. Not when you can't ignore all the handheld games and Sonic Unleashed. That's not right. So this game made me feel like a crazy person, but it is a really good game. And I think Sonic Lost World is I don't know, man. I'm gonna put it right here. That might be a little low, but it made my fear become a reality. I'm like, oh, I guess this is what the writing is like now. They brought the Wisps back for no reason. The level design, some levels are super fun and memorable. A lot of them aren't. A lot of them are super frustrating. And I think the main thing that this game suffers from is that it tried to do too many things, too many new things at the same time, while also trying to be Sonic Colors 2, so it doesn't have a very strong sense of identity. Like, okay, let's introduce some generic Saturday morning cartoon villains. Okay. But we also want the Wisps with the cartoony tone from Sonic Colors. Okay. But then what's the gameplay like besides that? Okay, let's introduce spherical worlds from Mario Galaxy. Okay. New Wisps. A kick move for Sonic to have. Let's redo the homing attack. Let's redo the running controls. Let's include wall running. Let's put the ball bounce back in. Let's have the double jump from Sonic Colors, except it doesn't have a hitbox in this one, so we're changing the double jump. This game is... and then a lot of the levels have their own unique gimmick to them, to the point where this game is just incredibly inconsistent. It's clearly, it has a high budget, the graphics are good, it runs at 60 FPS, good music, it has a good presentation, but it's so inconsistent in its level quality. It just seems like it doesn't have an identity of its own while trying to be Sonic Colors too. That's how I feel about the game. The Yoshi and Zelda DLC is sick though. And Sonic Colors, I'll put that as the third S tier in my list. Sonic Generations. I feel like Sonic Generations is a more consistent game than Sonic Unleashed, but the production value is just slightly less. Or at least there's less bang for your buck. There's less to sink your teeth into here, less meat. But what's here is so good. I actually think the controls are improved here. Sonic controls even better than he did in Unleashed. Some of the level designs, especially Seaside Hill, are amazing. Classic Sonic is not a perfect one-to-one recreation, but he was way better than Sonic 4, and he's super fun. This is just one of the best love letter video games ever. And just from my preferences of the types of games that I like, Sonic Mania is also a love letter game, but I'll put Sonic Generations in S tier. These are my 3 S tier games. This is my E tier game. I hate Sonic Forces so much that I almost want to put it here, but I'm not going to. Is this really my tier list? I don't know, but this is how it looks like right now. So, if you want to tell me what your tier list would look like, let me know in the comments down below. And if you would like to see other tier lists or other videos, then yeah, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Apparently the notification bell is really important now. So I'll leave you guys with that, because this video's been 45 minutes long. So, talk to you guys next time. Bye.